This video will review what steps are required to get a resource set up so that they can input time towards a project that is not currently shown on their timesheet. We'll also review how to add a particular wage category to that resource's timesheet. In our example, an employee logs onto their timesheet but does not see the project that they want to enter time towards. Now, let's add some names to our example. Gary wants to work on the schematic design activity of the Fort Point project. Andy needs to be able to add vacation time to his timesheet. So how do we get Gary's timesheet set up for this? Well, to begin, let's select the appropriate project, the Fort Point project. We do this by selecting project. We could then select Fort Point project. Next, we want to see if Gary is actually assigned to this project. So we expand our options, click on Plan, and select Members. Here we have a list of all the members in this project. Here's Gary. We scroll over and see that he is active, which is great. So now let's verify that the activity schematic design has actually started and is not expired. So under Plan, we click Activities. Here we see a list of all the activities for this project. Here's schematic design. We scroll over. It has started, which is great. We look at the end date, and it looks like December 2010. It's already expired. So we can just click on it and push the date out to the actual date, which will be the end of July. Here we go, the last day of July. We hit Save by clicking our Save icon here. Great. Now we want to make sure that Gary can actually add time to this activity. So we select our activity. Now we have all of our options, and we click on Resources. Now it's important to note that this is optional. This gives us more control by restricting which resources can actually add time to specific activities. Well, we want Gary to be able to add time to this activity, so we select his name here, we select New, and there he's added. We want to save this. Great. So now that the project and activity are current, let's make sure that Gary can actually see his timesheet. So we want to make sure that we're on Gary's timesheet. So let's select Gary as a resource. We would select Resource, click on Gary's name, and then we could just go to our timesheet icon here. And we have Beacon Bridge and Administration, not Fort Point. So we go to our selection filter icon here. And this gives us a list of all possible projects. Fort Point is selected, return to timesheet, and we can start adding time in. So here it is, great. So for Wednesday, we worked 3 hours on pre-design. We can add a comment here. We then spent time on schematic design, but we see that it's actually not here. We have pre-design and then we have submit to planning, but not number 2, schematic design. So we want to go back to our selection filter icon like so. And we want to, once again, select Fort Point. When we do this time, we see all of our activities come up, and we realize that we didn't actually select the schematic design option here. So we go return to timesheet, and now we should have schematic design like so. So we can add our time in again. We worked 3 hours on Wednesday. We can type in our comments. We worked 3 hours on the schematic design activity and type in our comments, which is great. Let's save. We spent 2 hours on consulting. We'll write our comments. Save it again. We also spent Thursday and Friday on vacation, but we can't add it right now. So we want to add our wage category of vacation. Okay, so let's add this wage category. First thing we want to do is we want to verify that it's been defined for the company. So to do this, we go up to our top menu, click on Resources, we can pin this menu down here. Under data structures, we click on resources and wage categories. And we can check vacation has been defined. Great. Okay, so next we want to allow Gary to be able to add vacation time. We expand the resource panel for Gary here. We select configuration, like so, and then finance. And now down here, we see vacation as an option. We can authorize to edit. So we click on it, we hit save. Now, let's go back and make sure that Gary can actually see the vacation category on his timesheet. So we go back to timesheet. Now we don't see it, so we have to go back to our filter selection tool up here. Click it. This time, however, we're going to click on wage categories here, and we can select vacation. Return to timesheet. And there it is. And so now Gary can select his time like so. Oops, just for Friday. Hit save. And we're done. Modifying access to timesheets is easy and it's fast, and will allow you for the appropriate amount of control at all times. Thank you very much.